Live from Parliament for the President's second State of the Nation address. I'm being joined by two members of Parliament. I've got Baba Jamal and a former member of Parliament, and then a current member of Parliament. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Ma'am Sister.
What are your expectations, first of all, of the President's second State of the Nation address?
I want to first hear the President give us concrete measures he's taking to make this country secure. Security is key to our lives. Security is key to business. Security is key to everything we do in society. So far, I'm not impressed about his way of handling security in this country. And I think that a lot of Ghanaians, majority of us, are living in fear. Fear from vigilante groups, fear from armed robbers, even fear from people in uniform, because of recent times a lot of people have been caught who are in uniform, who are not actually military men or policemen. So the first thing I want to hear from the President is what measures he's taken to ensure that we have some level of security in this country. The second thing I want to hear, concrete measures to redeem the growing unemployment in this country. He spoke about it, gave fine theatrics about how he's going to do it. We've not seen anything. So far, I don't think that even 100 jobs have been created in this country, because whatever jobs have been created, some people have to be sacked for others to be replaced.
You don't believe what the Agric Minister put out recently?
That is it. That's a palpable falsehood. That's a complete falsehood. In fact, what Nana Addo said even shows that that was a falsehood, because Nana Addo said that they were going to register farmers, progressive farmers, so the people are already in employment. By registering them does not mean you have created a new employment. I hope you hear what I'm saying. If you register a person who is already doing a job, he's already in some form of employment. He may not be maybe in the best form of employment. So if you are rehabilitating or helping him to do it better, that does not mean you have created new employment. We want a situation for him to bring us figures to say that this person had no job, was not a farmer. Today I have made him a farmer. This person had no farm at all. We have created farms for him and he's working. This is what we say, creation of job, not when somebody is already there. So we want to also hear concrete measures to improve employment in this country. Another thing we want to see, the various promises that they made, like 1 village, 1 dam, 1 million, 1 constituency, 1 district, 1 factory. Fine policies that Ghanaians, these were flagship policies that Ghanaians based on to vote them. What has happened to those policies? We want to look at it. And then finally, the growing debt in this country. They promised this country they are going to cut waste. Cutting waste is not by appointing 110 ministers. Cutting waste is not traveling over almost 40 times in 1 year. That is not cutting waste. Cutting waste is not traveling to Nigeria to become a conductor or going to Africa to watch football. That is not cutting waste. So these are the issues we want the President to look at and ensure that he is going to redeem all those situations.
We thank you very much. Doc, what's the plan?
Well, today the plan is to be patient and attentive and get to listen the good news that the President has actually for the nation. The 2017 budget the wrong was looking at sustaining those gains and now opening up the economy to create a lot of jobs, opportunities. Most of the things the President will say today would be a confirmation of what was captured in the 2018 budget and some new ideas and plans for the country going into 2018. He's going to talk about security. I mean, I heard my colleague talking about political vigilantism and all that. These are phenomena that we've had to deal with as a country over the years. They must come to a point, to an end at a particular point. The President is determined to make sure that in his era, they would be curtailed or abolished totally. In fact, recently, a whole Minister of State was asked to go home whilst his deputy takes over, because the police mentioned that he had tried to stampede them when they tried to arrest some miscreants who were alleged to be party sympathizers of the MPP. I always insist that any abnormal or criminal behavior that comes from a member of a party cannot necessarily be the character of a sitting president. It is his reaction to the misbehavior or criminal acts that tells what kind of man he is. And the president has demonstrated that he wants the law to rule, not political party affiliation or partisanship. Let me also mention that one key problem we had as a country was that of a struggling economy. When we came, growth was at a low point, lowest in 23 years, 3.6%. Within a year, we are doing about 7.9% now. And growth, when it goes up, means you are creating more opportunities. Look at agriculture. For the past few years, there was a ban on employment of extension officers. In 2017, this government absorbed about 822 extension officers. In 2018, the plan of the budget is to take 2,700 extension officers. You cannot do well in agric if you are not bringing on board extension officers. They give ideas as to how to improve yield, and that is a significant. I think one cannot conclude without talking about major policies like restoration of the teacher training allowances, nursing training allowances. We are paying contractors who have not been paid over the past few years. This government has, in fact, waste. You talk about waste. The recent auditor's report, special report, into 11 billion liabilities to the state have shown that close to 50% of that amount was not genuine. In fact, some were outright fraudulent. And this is what we talk about when we mention that we are protecting the public purse. These 5.4 billion would have gone to waste if change had not come. And thanks to change, thanks to His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, this country is now seeing renewed growth, confidence in the country, and we hope for better things to come.
Thank you very much, Dr. Okoboy, even though I'm sure that the minority would greatly disagree with some of the things that you've said. Let me talk to Edward Bawa, who's a member of parliament for Bongo.
Bawa, you just talked to a minority member. Why do you want to talk to Bawa again? This gentleman came with a set of things which he said last year. He's only polished them and he repeat them today.
I see that even before he says a word, you're afraid of what he's about to say. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Usually there's a caucus meeting before the president appears. What's the plan? What has been said at this caucus meeting?
Why are you all interested in what is going to happen? Because there's a proverb in my dialect that says that when they are bringing drums into your house, you don't run to meet it. Just be patient. When we go to the floor of the house, definitely you will know exactly what we intend doing. But I can see all my colleagues here, and I'm talking in the minority. So we are here to be part of the process. But as to how we do and how we behave, let's leave that till 10 o'clock.
Are we doing placards?
Again, let's wait till 10 o'clock.
Yesterday there was a demonstration on fuel hikes. I wonder if you are expecting the president to address this particular situation of increases in fuel prices.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't do it, because he's giving us the State of the Nation's address. The state of Ghana today is that drivers are worried. The state of Ghana today is that fuel prices are skyrocketing. The state of Ghana today is that people simply cannot go around their day-to-day business because of the cost of energy. Why do I say so? If you look at today, if I were to go to the pump station today to buy petrol for, say, 10 cedis, 5 cedis is made up of just nothing but taxes. And this comes from the margins, from direct taxes from some of our petroleum products. One of the areas I've consistently indicated, and I think about 2 days ago I spoke about it, has to do with what we call the special petroleum levy. You remember that when we introduced this thing in 2015, the MPP indicated very clearly that they were against it, and that if they came to power, they were going to take it off. Indeed, in 2015, the reason why the then Minister of Finance came to Parliament to ask for approval to impose 17.5% levies on petroleum products was because the benchmark price that they had put for crude oil in the budget was $60 per barrel. Then, unfortunately, crude oil prices meant that we needed to introduce the 17.5% levy, special petroleum levy on petroleum products to be able to augment that particular portion. But this particular act in itself had a sunset clause to have ended December last year, that's 2017. As we speak today, one, the election date has passed. Two, crude oil prices are now hovering between $60 and $70 per barrel. So it means the conditions under which this even tax was introduced do not exist again. The expectation is that government should be able to take this off. They are not taking it off, and that is one of the reasons why we have the prices going up. Secondly, we all pay, when we go to the pumps, we pay what we call the price stabilization levy. Price stabilization levy is simply a levy that you pay for a day that, like this, when prices are high. You use that to cushion and therefore to be able to stabilize prices. If I buy 1 liter of petrol, I pay 12 pesos on it every day. If I buy 1 liter of diesel, I pay 10 pesos. If I buy LPG, I pay 10 pesos. What are we using the price stabilization fund for? To the extent that today, if somebody were to move from Accra to Bolga, the amount he was paying last year, he's not paying the same amount because of increases in transportation prices. That has a direct impact on even the food we eat, because transport has to bring these foods from the farm areas into markets. And so one of the areas I would expect the president to act, if he's talking about the state of the nation, the state as at yesterday was that petroleum prices were unbearable for people to be able to pay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edward Bauer there. There's still a lot to come from Parliament, even as we count down to the President's second State of the Nation address. And I'm seeing a lot of faces. We're going to grab some people to still speak to us. So keep watching the AM show coming to you live from Parliament. Is it addressing jobs? Are we going to see evidence of what the president has done in Parliament today?
I normally don't like to take the wind from the president's sail, and I don't want to take the spark from what he's going to say today, this morning. But certainly, it is going to be a synopsis or a summary of the past year. It's also going to talk about where we took off from. In other words, what we inherited, what we've done so far for this year, but more importantly, where we are taking this country to. And I think that's what is more important to all of us than anything else, that in the next 12 months from now, where are we taking this country to? And as we know, the government came on the backdrop of an economic crisis, to say the least, to be charitable. The economic indicators, the fundamentals of the economy are proving to be resilient now. As you know, we are recording some of the highest growths over the past years. And across the world, we are growing almost at 9%. The deficit is coming down. Inflation is on a downward trend. Interest rates are sloping down. Certainly, the economy is looking stable and ready to take off. The most important issue confronting the Ghanaian people, particularly the youth of this country, is the issue of unemployment. And the president is going to be giving the ingredients of his vision of a Ghana beyond aid, the targets, and how we are going to ensure that we create the hundreds and thousands and millions of jobs for the Ghanaian people. So it's going to be an interesting day.
Quite a good number of the people that I've spoken to this morning are worried about security. Is it high on the agenda of the president today?
Security has always been high on the president's agenda. And you know that we live in a very complex world now. And security matters keep evolving and become complex by the day. The most important thing is equipping our security forces, our security services to be able to confront modern day security challenges. And that's exactly what the government and the president has been doing for the past year. As you will well recall, the government has provided vehicles to the Ghana Police Service, for instance. We've just imported 100 Toyota vehicles for the Ghana Police Service.
Are those vehicles in? Are those vehicles
they are on their way. We've already presented about 250 pickup trucks to the Ghana Police Service. And these are all efforts by the government to equip, to retool, and make our security services prepared and ready to confront the ever complex security issues of our time. But more importantly, is building the economy, because it's only when you have an economy which is robust, you have an economy which has surpluses, you have the budget that you can fund your agenda for combating security and the rest. It's going to be high on his agenda, but suffice to say that work is being done on it already.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jinapor. And still stay with us. Many conversations to come.